It looks like when it's on, something is playing or something and stuff like this thing explodes. Hi man, unbelievable. Just wow. Haha, look at that. Look at this thing here. Look at this. That's about 45 times more than what allowed is. Than what is allowed. I mean, look at this. You think this is a deadly thing? You think this will kill you if you're exposed to this stuff ongoingly? You think this stuff will kill you? Well, this stuff is what Mitja Veber did. That's a terrorist. Acted on behalf of the Moscow, on behalf of the Belgrade in Moscow. So I have this computer since 2013. And he even destroyed my new computer, so I would not use the new computer, but I would be compelled to use this thing here. So I just want you to see what this looks like. Okay, you might have seen a lot of things on the internet, okay, but you have not seen anything like this yet. This is my niece's husband. His name is Mitja Veber, and he's a specialized in terrorism, in a government terrorism. He will go and he will change tires in your car so you can kill yourself on the road. He did to me. My belt on a brand new car, Mazda, and it was in the US, went bad after just like I think 10 or 15,000 miles. And then he bragged about it. He bragged about how good cars Mazdas are and stuff like this, and about belts and stuff like this that don't go bad. My car was broken, brand new, damaged, had dents when I bought one in the US. And he was the one who was involved in abductions. He was the one who brought me here to Slovenia with others, per Moscow, per Serbia. And he was the one who also destroyed that car. At the same time, they have incited against the Jews. The Jews are bad, the Jews are this, Jews that, Jews I don't know what. And look at this shit. Ladies and gentlemen, over 50 times of what is allowed to be on the computer, the radiation. Over 50 times. Okay? So, no conspiracy theories here. Nothing to cry about, nothing to say about it. This isn't true, that something or anything like this. No, it actually is the truth. This is the truth. What you see here, it actually is the truth. I will demand for the police to arrest this individual on plot to get me murdered, to kill me. As to do something like this to the computer is extreme act of crime. He does have friends here in Novo Mesto, the company indeed that represents Hewlett-Packard, like a service center for Hewlett-Packard, where they might have assisted this individual with this kind of stuff. He gets the parts for his stuff that he does through this company rather than through private address. So that way he conceals on how he obtains parts and so on. And so yeah, now it's understandable how this is done. So this stuff like this will kill you, make no mistake about that. That's what Slovenian government is running away from. They want me to blame Jews. Jews did everything. Jews did. And Jews are going to pay. Jew is going to pay. Jew is going to pay the money. Berger suggested. Berger, Miroslav Berger, involved in this stuff. By the way, the internet comes here on this side. Basically, there is nothing that should cause the radiation. There is only a USB that comes here. So what is in here? What have you done with this thing here? This is where you turn on and turn off computers. So this is what he have modified. He have done something to it. So this is just unbelievable. Stuff you don't see. You just don't see stuff like this anywhere. This is already 10 times over the limit. And you can see here, it was even over 60 times. Look at that. You're watching micro Teslas, ladies and gentlemen. This is in micro Teslas. Micro Teslas, look at that. 52 times something. The other day I have demonstrated it was... It came up to about 75 times of what is allowed on a laptop that can be. So I just want you to see this stuff so that you will understand what kind of people I'm doing with. What is allowed is 0.1. And what we have here is 6, even over 6, 6.5, and so on and stuff like this. Regularly over 5, 5.5 over is just a normal here. Radiation up to 1 meter away from here? Yes, yes it is. It is. Over 1 meter, this thing blasts all the way to the walls, across my chair. This thing here is now totally radiated. I wonder what is with me. Walls, everything is just like beaming. So this is how this works. This is how this stuff, diabolical stuff, operates. I hope I'm going to get an arrest warrant for this individual, for this criminal. I hope I get him arrested. This is very serious. Stuff like this kills. There's no doubt about it. So what they wanted to give me disease, cancer, bone cancer, brain cancer, whatever it would be. Collect the money from the evil Jews. Because Jews did everything in Slovenia to me. Jews did everything in Belarus to me, and in Ukraine, and in United States, and in Germany, and in Scandinavia, and so on. It always was Jews. And Jews will pay. And then I can go and die like a dog, basically, in unbearable death. As long as they have the money and the Jews are guilty, it's all good. What is about a criminal that you are about to see right here? This is his name, and it's a husband of my niece. Just a really accident that somehow have implanted himself in our family per Belgrade, per Moscow. And you can even see here that individual is actually specialized into radiation. In fact, this individual is some sort of advisor right here. You can read advisor on radiation. So he is specialized in electromagnetic radiation. He is a specialist. Individual literally is specialized in the stuff that you are about to see. So in respect to this stuff, I don't actually have anything else to say. You can see him right here. Individual is as fake as possibly anybody can be fake, and more than anything extremely dangerous. A regular terrorist is how I see this individual as. This is, I'm not going to say his website, but this is actually, he'll tell you about the radiation, and he can even come and measure the radiation in your ambient. So he is, once he got into this stuff, totally exactly precisely what I have described have happened under MK Ultra was used for. Not a single word on my statements was any form of imagination, paranoia, schizophrenia, or anything like this. Psychiatrists, their violent behavior in this case is totally regretful, and I will not let this go away. Anyhow, here's the website, and you can go and you can see it, contact him, whatever. That was 11, over 10. It's now regular, it was like 7.5. This is just awesome, Look at this. Gonna stop that. I want you to see this. I want you to get an idea what this is like. What is this? You see what this is? I don't have to go to the wall, do I? Look. You see what this is? Look. Look. You see what this is? This is where I sit. This is basically where I work. Look. Do you see what this is? So you think this is not an attempt to murder someone, that this is not a terrorism. This is not enough to arrest an individual, to get him imprisoned for the stuff like this. Also worth it for me to mention is on how I bought this computer, why I bought this computer. Well, in 2010, I returned back, at the end of the 2010, I returned back to this shithole here in Slovenia. So what I did was, all of a sudden the computer went bad, like in 3 years. Everything was nice, fine, but when I got here, the first thing that happened was the keyboard, when I would type, you would have the cursor coming, jumping like, you know, from one side of the screen to the other. Yeah, there was no way you possibly could fix anything. And then the hard drives went back, and so on and so forth. I didn't have any choice other than to either invest in repair of the old computer or just go and buy a new one. And when you compare the price, then, you know, we went for the newer one. So I just want to say how things work here, how all this stuff have happened. Okay, I would love to know what this is all about. This is totally old computer. The same thing basically was done to it. And I would just love to know what's going on with this stuff here. I am not making these things up in any way. I'm not lying to you. There is nothing around here. There is nothing that would be used to create anything like this. Anything that you see here is real. Now this is just exploding with radiation. That means that individual who was here, this computer was bought in Austria in 2010, January 2010. And so the same thing, you can see the same thing was done to this one as it was done with the newer one. You see what this is? This is a terrorism. This is Al-Qaeda right here. This is kind of a mind-blowing stuff to me, and you know, from now on when I see a Russian or Serb, I'm going to kind of assume that I see a terrorist in front of me. Sorry, but when you go and you do this to my computer, you are a terrorist. We got to agree that these are acts of the terrorism. This is a personal property, and this is a terrorism. I asked them how interesting this stuff is, because under MK Ultra, they have suggested me, they gestured me, the table was something wrong with the table downstairs in the room was when I actually realized what went on. And under MK Ultra, it was all about the table. It was about how poor Shoigu was, Sergei Shoigu, that he was a victim of Americans, that it was Americans that tried to kill him with a table. That is such a table that is so dangerous, and once I get that table, that I should just go to the court and collect the money and stuff like this. These were instructions under MK Ultra. The truth, however, is that Moscow, Russians,
These are terrorists, and if you have doubts about who murdered Nemtsev, and if you have doubts about who crashed plane, and if you have any kind of doubts in respect to anything, all you have to do is you have to look at my case. Okay? So I think it's all clear who does it, how they do it, why they do it, to whom they do it, and so on and so forth. I don't think there's anything to talk about anything further. Mitja Veber is a doctor. This individual has got a doctorate from electronics, from, I don't know, from electro-engineering, something like this. And it looks like that this is where he invested his knowledge in. Dude is actually like with an average IQ, nothing more than that. The only way he progressed his IQ was basically through total government assistance. Everything this individual have accomplished was pushed to him straight in the ass. They gave him the cameras. They teach him how to install the cameras. They give him all kinds of technologies. They teach him on how to do things, modify and stuff like this. He got it from Americans. Russians didn't even have cameras sometimes until Americans gave them, sometimes in 2000 and I don't know, 2002, 2003 they started to play with that stuff. Chinese were laughing at them. I mean, this is just so primitive and murderous that is totally unbelievable. Okay? So this case is not about me having a schizophrenia or paranoia. This case is about murderers, psychiatrists who acted against me on behalf of Belgrade. Vucic was the one who was prepared already to take over the politics of the new Yugoslavia. He is supposedly, according to underground Yugoslav secret society services, if you want to call this, traitors, in Croatia, in Slovenia, in Bosnia and Macedonia, and in Serbia. Kosovo was supposed to be violently taken over, away from Albanians. They will be genocided according to Vucic, according to Vladimir Putin, who promised him this. And so this is what this is, Moscow, Belgrade. That's all there is. If you have any doubts about Nemtsev, if you have any doubts about anyone, this is how they work. And this is even how they collect the money. And the Jews are always guilty because of you idiots, because you buy it like I did. I bought, I hate it, and when you do, that's basically when they profit. They even get the money through you and kill you. That's all it is, and collect the money, that's it. You better believe I'm going to go to the police station, and I am going to file immediately criminal charges against my niece's husband, criminal charges against the individual who sold me this computer, as he also was involved in MK Ultra. And it might even go beyond in respect to computer. Stuff like this. No doubt about that. I was really gonna end this stuff, but I got to go on with this MK Ultra garbage that they instilled in me on how I would and would not and so on. They wanted me to actually publish like a really aggressive news at the late stage that would benefit Israel, on what they would actually stage like, some kind of jihadi radical Muslim killing of me here in Novo Mesto, and I would be actually pushed either to choose life in the Israel or just simply removed from the process of life, of my identity. What they would do is basically they would just go, Moscow and Belgrade would just go and they would remove my identity, basically just take my personal IDs, my identities, and stage like some kind of coup, killing or something like this, like Muslims did it, and have subjected me inside of the mental hospital under MK Ultra. When I did report the stuff like this to the police station, got me in a like from the mental hospital, suggested me now, it's up to you. You can live a very beautiful life. You can have a normal life, or you can stay here. Basically, this kind of stuff, Moscovians, Moscovici, and Belgradici created this kind of shit they created. This is what Moscow and Belgrade are. This is, I'm going to tell you what this is. This is a shithole of the world is what Moscow is and Belgrade. Now I actually do regret I did go to Belarus. I should not have gone over there. It was very bad for my health. I went like 7 days without even sleep and stuff like this. If they wouldn't kill you with restlessness, and you don't get sleep, you don't get to rest and stuff like this, threats, they kill you in some other form. Just know about one thing, please. If they suggest something that something have happened to me or something like this, just please take a note of it. If it's gonna happen something like this, because I have suggested Slovenian police staged incident here in Novo Mesto. Look, if they're not gonna do it, believe me, I am gonna do it after they do it. So just remember one thing about this stuff, please. If they suggest that something like this happened and you don't see me anymore, believe me, I will do it. Afterwards I will do it. In afterlife I'm gonna do it. A real one is how I'm gonna do it. I don't give my name to anyone, and nothing I have gone through is for sale. You either gonna pay scum what you owe, or we're gonna continue with this till the end of it, and like you see it, as I have stated, even beyond. I am saying absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, basically, is what I'm saying. According to MK Ultra, very soon. Very soon. But I, however, am not saying absolutely anything. Anything at all. Anything at all. Because Mr. Donald Trump is just desperate for any kind of fake news. Basically the fakest, the most criminal president in the world. The traitor that had a KGB trace not only me, I'm not even a Russian, pay attention to that. I am not a Russian. I was born in Slovenia, I am Slovenian, and I am also American citizen. Had KGB not only trace me on behalf of the Belgrade and ruin my life, but have had engaged in most severe torture possible against American citizen in United States of America, and have used in total agreement with the Russian government, with Moscow, so-called spies, Russian spies, exiled to United States of America under Mutual Government Act to trace ordinary, normal Russian people and other people from Eastern Europe and destroy them. Get them hijacked, abducted, tortured, or even killed. So, the fakest president, the traitor of United States of America that is looking for the fake news, is just not gonna find one here. Okay? So basically what I'm saying is nothing. The only thing I'm saying is that in afterlife I am gonna judge myself.